For the first time in decades, the people holding all of Colorado's statewide elected offices are Democrats. The governor, secretary of state, treasurer, and attorney general. And joining us today is the newly elected attorney general, Phil Weiser, whose job it is to protect the people of the state of Colorado and their interests. So thank you for being here and congratulations. We've been talking. I know you're hitting the ground running. I have to first ask about the government shutdown, and I know that's at the federal level, but what are you seeing as the impact right now on our state immediately?
Let me start with the workers whose lives are affected. Every time we go to an airport, every TSA agent is working and not getting paid. This is a strain on families. It can be a strain on our economy if it continues. It's a self-inflicted wound. Lamar Alexander said, chemical weapons to war is what shutdown should be to budget negotiations. They shouldn't happen. This is wrong. It needs to end. So for me, what starts is the lives who are affected. And then, of course, critical governmental functions. So the court system even, there's questions about whether cases are going to be moving forward. The U.S. Attorney's Office is having some challenges. It's going to get worse and worse. And
is there anything at the state level that Colorado can do?
So California did actually make a decision, and Colorado may follow suit in terms of unemployment benefits. Is something that we can look at to try to help. The Trump administration said they're against that, but we have a humanity crisis here. A number of wonderful leaders in our community said we'll offer free meals, or we'll offer free access to this museum. What I would say is we can all patronize and thank those who are helping our federal government workers. We need to appreciate them and support them during this difficult time.
Let's get down to business. You've been vocal about joining some lawsuits against the Trump administration. Boy, what are you protecting us from? Where do you start with that?
Let me start with democracy, because if we can't protect our democracy and the rule of law, our nation's in trouble. The census case just got decided. I will be joining on behalf of the Attorney General's office to take this up on appeal and maybe the Supreme Court.
To not include that question.
Right. The question that was pushed by Steve Bannon and others is ask people about their documentary status. The problem is the Census Bureau professionals said, don't ask that question. Its predictable effect is lots of people won't answer who need to be counted. The Constitution calls for accounting of everybody. The Supreme Court's made that clear. What the decision that just came down said is this effort to ask the question would undermine the whole count. It's wrong. We need to count everybody. I'm for democracy, the Constitution, and counting everybody.
Okay, so the census question, where else?
The Affordable Care Act. I talked to people on the trail. The protection for people with pre-existing conditions, it's a matter of life and death, or bankruptcy. We depend on that protection. We need to fight for it here in Colorado for our citizens. There's a case in Texas that declared that provision unconstitutional, and worse yet, that case declared the whole act unconstitutional, including the Medicaid expansion, critical for our rural hospitals. I'll protect health care. I will join that case to protect Coloradans.
I know you've been critical of for-profit schools. You've also raised concerns about the intense amount of debt that our students carry. What can you do about that?
There's a case against Navient, which is one of these loan servicing programs.
And I remember paying money to Navient, yes.
So here's what they're doing to people. They're saying, oh, do this other plan and you'll be better off. Except they're lying. They're telling people to get in plans that make them worse off. We need to stand up for students, and if there are people taking advantage of students, deceiving them, whether a for-profit college who says we'll give you skills and then doesn't deliver, or a loan servicing company that engages in these games, I want to stand up for students and consumers.
I know you've also talked about doing something statewide about low-level marijuana convictions so that we're not throwing people in prison. But what can you do about that? I mean, isn't that something the state legislature has to address rather than you?
My view is that I'm a partner with the state legislature, with county commissions on a range of issues, including criminal justice improvement. We now have people who have a record for a marijuana offense that is not illegal under the laws today. I want us to expunge those in the best way possible so that people aren't kept back. We want to give people opportunity. Let's expunge these marijuana convictions. And more than that, let's reform how we do bail. Because right now we're keeping people in jail because they can't afford to pay. We got to do better than that.
Okay, so these all sound like great ideas, and I suspect some would say pie in the sky ideas. How do you, as the new AG, make that happen?
We sit down with other people, district attorneys, city attorneys, and legislators, and we work through solutions. I don't view my job as to sit back and wait till the legislature passes a law and implement it. I want to be here to support the legislature, to say how do we get to the best legislation that achieves the goals that we as Coloradans have. And part of that is a criminal justice system that works for everybody. The DAs are saying we need to fix bail. I, as the Attorney General, sit at the table with them. I can be a critical partner and bridge. And
with 30 seconds left, then what do you want people from the state of Colorado? Can they call you on the phone?
Yes.
Can they email you?
Yes. Email coag@coag.gov. I'm on Twitter too, so @PWeiser on Twitter. Democracy is a team sport. We all are in this together, whether it's improving criminal justice, protecting consumers, or protecting health care. I need the people of Colorado working with me to achieve these important goals.
Well, congratulations on your new position, and thank you for taking the time to be with us.
It's great to be here, Anne. Thank you.
Phil Weiser, thank you. Back in a moment.